even people that come into your life that, yeah, that hurt you, right? Maybe you brought in somebody into your life that you really thought they were going to be beneficial to you, but they ended up hurting you, right? But I think that in the bigger picture, in the bigger aspect of it, we knowing that God's in control, that God sees us and God knows the plans for our lives, we can trust that we were a difference maker, either for that person or that person, whatever that situation was, is going to definitely benefit us in some sort of way. It's either going to make us stronger, it's going to make us a lot smarter, whatever that may be. So I really want to hold on to those two things. One of them, do not worry if I cannot control it. The second one, people come into your life for a reason. My parents won't be here forever. And although that sucks and is sad to say, it's true. When I get that call from my dad, when I get that call from my mom, I want to be able to answer those calls and enjoy them. I want to be able to take some time out of my day to reach out to my sisters, make sure everyone's doing well, to build that relationship, to build that rapport with them. What is success? Why is there homelessness? Why are some people's lives harder than others? What is love? Will I find love? Am I good enough? Am I popular enough? Is this world better off without me? I didn't know how to answer these questions quite yet. And honestly, some are still hard to comprehend. I've come to the realization that I'm not alone in asking these questions. So I wanted to share some stories to help either young kids or adults like me, that we could talk about these questions openly. And so here are the stories, guys, that I went ahead and I'm going to share with you. One of them is called Joy's story. And then all of a sudden, it just kind of skyrocketed. People got a little too drunk, and things kind of went sideways from there because I believe when you are drunk, you act very, very not there. Because, I've never really experienced any drunkenness myself. I've seen a lot of drunk people, but I just personally, I don't see any value in getting drunk. I really don't. I understand drinking for a good time, but I don't understand where it gets to the point where you can't control yourself and you don't remember what you did or are doing. I've always believed that a sober mind is the best. And I'm not trying to be, Mr. Holier than thou or trying to be above anybody. I'm just saying that it doesn't work for me. So that's not what I like. These older kids, again, they don't necessarily always have that positive light in their life, right? And they're going through emotions, they're going through different things, middle school vibes, there's a lot going on, right? You got to remember from where you were at when you were a kid. And so you you got to look back and think, what are they thinking, right? What's going on through their mind and their heart? And with that, you listen to them, you encourage them, and again, you just be a light in their life. That's super important. And from there, that's how you engage better with kids, guys. It's pretty simple, right?
And he was like, prayer to me is asking God, hey, I know they're going through pain. Put a little bit on me so they don't have to hurt as much. You're always like praying for someone to make sure that they stop healing. But like, he was like, I take it as, if you're hurting, let me hurt. Let me hurt, and so you're okay.
Yeah, I like that.
And I was like, dude, that's a whole new way of looking at prayer. Not even just prayer, just being like exactly what Jesus did on the cross.
Yeah. When I get married in front of somebody, I'm taking that vow to, be with this person for the rest of my life, no matter what, in front of all these people. So when I say yes, get married in front of the church, yes, I feel like you need to have those people around you, because you're making a vow not only to your bride but to her family, to the people around. So that's my elaboration on that.
Interesting.
If you drink, that's fine. That's totally fine. But I'm just saying that getting drunk, I've never found any value in it. I don't see any value in it, and I don't see how it can benefit you. And I don't know why I don't necessarily know the reason why people drink. I guess that, it's covering up some hurt. It's distracting you from things that are going on in your life, or you're just looking for a good time, a good high. I forgive anything that comes this way because I've been forgiven. And that's the only key to letting go of things, is forgiveness. So that's why I titled this, guys. Let's talk about forgiveness. Where is something in your life that you haven't forgiven? Who is somebody in your life that you haven't forgiven? If I can't change it or fix it, I'm not going to worry about it. My brother-in-law stated this piece of advice was passed down from his mom. And also, Jesus actually said the same thing too. In Luke 12:25-26 says, does worry add anything to your life? Can it add one more year or even one day? So if worrying adds nothing, but actually subtracts from your life, why would you worry about God's care for you? Right? So why would you worry about these things that you can't change? That what I do know is I'll serve my heart out to anyone in need, and I'll look at them and speak with them with dignity and understanding. So those are two stories I wanted to share, guys. I feel like we all have these questions about life, and all those questions that I listed above, I feel like we're still answering them. At least I am. I don't know if you are. My viewers, they range from age to age, so it's kind of all over the place, but I like to believe that there's questions in this life that we all still struggle with. I never want to put up a front thinking that we have it all figured out. When you hold a grudge, when you hold something towards somebody, it hurts your heart so much, and it turns you into this really bitter person. And who are we to judge on who should be forgiven and who shouldn't, when ultimately, and I believe this wholeheartedly, and you might not believe, but I do, and I think it's a good way that if God's the one who has forgiven us, what right do we have to not forgive others? What right do we have to not forgive others? And I know it hurts. I know people have hurt you in the past. I know how that feels, right?
I like to think that in your 20s now, you're supposed to be grinding your way through life. You're going to go ups and downs, twists and turns, the turnaround, and a lot of it has to do with you are now learning that you're not running out of time yet. You're racing time, but you don't need to. Right.
You also want to be an adult, but you got to remember how their mind works. Okay. So, a lot of times is that these kids learn to trust you and they look up to you. Right. And sometimes they want to treat you as their friend, but you got to remember always you're an adult to them. And what it is that you have to encourage them in that way, and be a light in their life. Again, teach them what's right, teach them what's wrong. And just be that. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I've been every morning. I got a new book. It's called On Our Knees by Phil Wickham. Mm-hmm. It's a devotional book, but every day I've been learning something new about prayer life and about God. Just about how we can come to Him in prayer, asking for certain things, not treating Him like a genie, but rather knowing the power of God and what He can do, what He's already done, and that He's near to us, and He knows us even in our lowest times, even in our highest times. And I think for us, and I think I can speak on behalf of the people I've had on here, mm-hmm. that has been monumental to their character, knowing that wherever they've been, to the lowest of low, to the highest of high, that God's been there. So that's allowed them to have that guidance of character.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Yeah, I agree.
The reaction that those kids have when you tell them, I care about you, I don't want you to do this, the next day they're not going to do that. Now you might have to work it out later down the road again, because everyone falls and slips, but like the reaction is like priceless. You're like, someone cares about me.
Man, the homeless, the crackhead, the alcoholic, the heroin addict, the pill popper, mm-hmm. Without Christ, that's me. And I don't look at them any different because of their circumstances. Something happened in life to bring them to that place.
Yeah. What a man should do and what a woman should do. Just go back in time. Why have men been always the ones to continuously put themselves in situations to either better their family, protect their family, or help their family survive? To each its own. What you do in your life doesn't affect me. It doesn't matter if a woman brings nothing to the table.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She cares for me. She loves me. She cares my family if we were to have one. That's all I care about.
Yes, I'm 23 years old, right? And I feel ever since like 18, right after I graduated high school, it's been a race to success. I feel like there's this pressure to run towards success, to run towards money, to run towards that word, being a successful person, being a successful human being. I don't know if that's just the fact of being young and now you're trying to pursue this next thing because you already conquered high school, conquered college. But I feel like there's always stepping stones where you're trying to get to. Where does it end? Where you've been able to say, I am successful? Where does that question get answered where you say, I made it? Or is there such thing as making it?